Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Maddison, and first off, I have just worked out, so if I look a bit sweaty and tired, that's the reason. But also, it's really good weather today, so I want to go out to the park to read. But when I do, I always get like a little bit peckish. And so I'm gonna make some cookies that are by a recipe by Jasmine Tyler. I've tasted a few of her smoothie bowls and they're really good. So I'm curious to see if I'm gonna like her cookies just as much. So that's what we're gonna do first. And then later on in the park, I'm currently reading The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. So I'm just gonna see if I'm keep enjoying that book. This far, I'm really liking it. And about the cookies, should I have done this yesterday when I had a lot of time on my hands and I knew I was going to do this? Yes, but I didn't because I actually had just such a chill day and I really wasn't feeling up for it. So I ended up just not doing it. So I'm going to do it now and yeah, let's see if they turn out good.
I get variations by utilizing modifying devices. Look, why don't I just play it for you now, and then if I have to explain it later, okay?
Sure.
You can read along with me in your book. You will know it is time to turn the page when you hear the chimes ring like this.
Wait a minute, I don't like it. Something's weird.
What's the matter, boy?
Now I'm into using lasers.
Remember, even black spells.
Everyone knows coming attractions have a dark
I'd rather be in the dark than in the know if I know where you're going. There aren't enough television shows or songs on radio to keep me distracted.
Stereo.
Keep me distracted. Keep me distracted. Keep me distracted.
Some time ago, the wire services and newspapers carried a story out of San Francisco describing the first satanic wedding ceremony ever performed.
She's changing from a child into an adult, and it's a little confusing at times.
All your neighbors knew how late it was when you and I took regular dog drives. Wow, I got 700. My generation is emotionally free. From music,
It's probably add cinnamon though, but it's not bad. Yeah. It's a good start. I'm not fully convinced yet, but it's not bad. So.
Love grows where Maddison goes, and at the shows I don't rap, I just float and glow. They ask how she does it, but no one knows. Like when the wine glass shatters and there's no one home. I got a crystal pistol with amber trim, got the amethyst bullets that can cut through ribs. The velvet grip, the ruby scope. I'm not talking about drugs when I shoot the dopes. I'm not talking about drugs when I drop the acid. Rappers act hard, but they melt like plastic. They talk sheets like a bunch of fabric, and when there's no beats, I just rock the static.
Hi, so I'm right now at the park and I'm reading The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. The story itself is basically about Evelyn Hugo. She's like this Hollywood starlet. She's retired for years, and you follow someone who interviews her about her life and specifically her relationship. That she's been married 7 times. You kind of finally going to hear her side of the story as to why she's been married so often and what happened during those relationships and who she is, because she never felt like she had any chance to tell people who she was. and what was going on her side of the relationships, because either Hollywood didn't allow it, or the media, or the society itself. And I'm like halfway through now, and I have to admit, they talk about like this big secret, and at the beginning I thought like, oh, I think this is the secret, and it's vastly different. And I think it just kind of shows the difference of time, because like this is her secret, it's like, oh, alright. And I think I kind of had to switch for a little bit to recognize that this obviously caters like a few decades back and not right now. So people do view it very differently, society views it very differently. And so yeah, but I'm enjoying it, I think. Also, you can notice that Taylor Jenkins Reid is interested in clothes, and she does mention it a few times. I'm halfway through now, so I feel like green has something to do with it, because every time it's mentioned that Evelyn Hugo loves green dresses, but I could see it come by a little bit more often, like green, it's not kind of turning into blue. So I'm curious to see if like the colors mean anything or not, or if I'm just like imagining it and it just happened to have been this way. But yeah, so like I said, halfway through, so we're interested. But this far, yeah, I like it. I think it shows a really more raw side of Hollywood and what it's like, and that how big of a deal reputation is. And you know, that there is a certain degree, like this is still very much relevant, I believe. I do, like, obviously I'm not part of Hollywood, I have no desire to be part of that. I'm very happy with my life. But to see, like, you have to make sure that the image that people have of you is, like, to a certain degree, like, extent benefits you and your career. Which, I mean, is not just Hollywood. I think that's almost in every field. If your reputation is good, then people are more willing to offer you jobs or work or whatever. But there's someone present. It's fine, okay. But, not nearby. But that's a good one. So it's gonna be a bigger riot, or at least people are involved. But what was I saying? Anyways, like, yeah, reputation and work. You know, it's well done. Obviously, I have no idea what it's like right now, but I can only imagine that it's very similar. I think I've mentioned that several celebrities have also read this book and mentioned how much they enjoyed this. So I think that there's probably some sort of form of truth in there. I mean, the writer herself also lives in LA, so she probably has a better view on it than I do. But yeah, it's just enjoyable, it's fun, and it shows how far are you willing to go to reach your dreams or your ambitions. So yeah, it's really interesting. So I'm going to continue reading.
Got too overwhelming, so I started running. It stopped being fun and making myself numb isn't helping. I got to learn to deal with the way I feel. If this is reality, don't know what I expected. Just for a moment, I can't put this down. Things are getting crazy, lately I'm in hazy. Oh, and I've been praying someone will come and save me. The birds are flying south, I'm frozen in my doubt. Got no way to go from here, so I'll stick around. Just for a moment, I can't put this down.
So I just finished reading this book, The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and I really enjoyed it. It's it's got very sad, and it's very beautiful, and very tragic at times. And Taylor Jenkins Reid does a really good job of creating characters who are very morally gray, but that sense was you can't fully root for them, but you also can't hate them. And it's kind of I understand the actions. For example, Evelyn Hugo, quite a few times, I understand the actions that she took. It's just the full consequences and every little thing you don't really agree with. And I think it's very telling of her, like, and it's not just Evelyn Hugo as the main character, but like a lot of other characters as well. And I found that very interesting, that you look at a character and read about them, and it's like, I understand why you did it, I just don't agree with how you did it, or like not fully. So it really makes me want to read more of her books, and this was like really fun. It was, like I said before, it's very interesting to just read about, you know, someone else's personal life, like the stories of like how much it differs from like the image that like the media has created from Evelyn Hugo, and how she has lived her life, like her own personal life. And yeah, so it was very interesting, and it was just enjoyable at the same time that, like I said, it has very tragic moments. And you kind of like, you don't necessarily feel bad for Evelyn Hugo, at least I didn't at the end. It's like, okay, she's lived her life, she's been through a lot, and I think because she's very happy with at the end of the books of where she is in her life, you are, at least that's for me, was the case. Like, it's okay. So yeah, I do really recommend it. Like, that's all I have to say. It read very easily, it's very interesting, and due to other characters in the books as well, you just kind of root for everyone in their own way, and like how everyone deals with things in their life and how they work on certain things. I do have to admit, and I don't know if that's like supposed to happen, but when at the end of the book Evelyn Hugo explains the link between her and the other main character, like the writer that she asked for write her autobiography, she explains the link between them. The other main character is like really angry, and it's like, I understand her reaction, but like I don't share in that. I was like, okay, it's really bad and it's really awful, but also like part, like, and that's the thing, like at the moment itself when it happened and what Evelyn Hugo did, I kind of understand. Should she have kept it for that long? That like you don't agree with, and I feel like that's very much what happens throughout the whole book. Really good book, and I really enjoyed it, and I really do, as I think a lot of other people, recommend you to read this book. It's really great. So the 7 of Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, I'll give it like, I don't know, I'm not sure, like either 4, maybe 5 stars, but we'll see. I'll think about it for a little bit. But up until then, I'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for watching, and if you like this video, comment, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'll know when I'll put up a new video. Thank you so much for watching, seriously. Thank you. Bye!